Hey everyone, and this is Initial Thoughts review of Krypton, Episode 2, House of L. So this episode picks off where the pilot left, where we find out that Brainiac is coming and is going to destroy Krypton so that Superman never lives. That story is continued in this episode, but there's also, it's split into another story, and it's Seg, and it's how he's dealing with the death of his parents. He wants revenge. He doesn't believe this Brainiac. He just doesn't believe any of this crap. His head just can't take that in. He's too focused on what happened to his parents. So basically the episode is split into two. We've Seg wanting proof that the alien is coming, doesn't believe it, and Seg trying to deal with his parents' deaths. And the person who killed his parents is the mother of the girl who we're presuming he loves. So that's the whole episode. I have to say I'm enjoying this show so far. I really am. I think it's not boring. When this episode ended, even though it's not like action packed or anything, but when it ended, I was like, oh, it's over already. I wasn't expecting it. Just happened so quick. Like the episode doesn't, like, loads happen in the pilot, when you consider what happened at the end of it, the parents dying and stuff. There's nothing big like that here as far as I'm concerned, but there's a lot of small character stuff that's set up for payoffs later this season, later in the series, which I really appreciated. I talked about subtlety as a negative. I'm not saying there's great subtlety in this, but there's just little things that make me think I can see the future in the terms of how characters are going to be relating to each other, and I'll talk to that in a second when I get to the characters. I have to say, I was saying that the mother character, the mother Zod in the last episode, was interesting me. I wanted to see a lot more. You see a little bit more from her here, and there is this balance of I think she cares for her daughter. I think it's Lyta Zod, and you can see she cares for her, but she struggles with this, her job, her role to Krypton, and her duty as a mother. And it's interesting. But the stealer of this episode, the character in this episode for me was the daughter. Was Lyta, I think it is Lyta Zod. The reason being, what I talked about before is, without spoiling it, this is so annoying. I'm gonna have to start doing these as spoiler reviews, I think. She basically, something big happens. She's, from the start of the episode to the end, she's in a different place. For noble reasons, but how she gets there is morally questionable, I guess. Which again, I can see. It'd be interesting to see Seg's reaction when he finds out what happened, or if it'll just be drifted off. This is the stuff I'm interested in seeing in episode 3. But we all know Zod. If we've seen the movies or comics, we know Zod is a villain. You can see the very, very beginnings of how maybe Zod himself got those principles, maybe because I think Lita's going to go down that path. But I don't know, it interests me a lot. I think she is, not acting wise written, just as pure character and writing, I think she steals this episode. Not negatives, the acting's still very meh. There's nobody that's really making me go, oh yeah, they're really good. I don't know if I'm emotionally invested yet. It might take a few more episodes, but the acting's not what's going to do that for me, I don't think. But you look at Arrow. Stephen Amell started off very rough, but he became his own. He's not an Oscar-winning actor, but he became so much that I will continue to watch Arrow for that character, even though Arrow is... that's another thing. We're talking about Krypton, leave Arrow alone. But one thing in this episode, one thing with Krypton at the moment is exposition. Every character is exposition. I can't even say it anymore. Exposition. There's one character introduced here, I'm pretty sure he's not in the first episode. Don't even know his name. He's a guy, he's in the locker room, he's changing, has some scars on his back, and he's talking to Lyta Zod. And basically his whole 2-minute speech is exposition for his character, and I literally was rolling my eyes, and I was like, oh, this. I know it's in a lot of TV shows, but it's just so frustrating to watch. Back to positives though. The end of this episode, Krypton's hooking me. The end of the first episode hooked me. The end of this episode hooks me. Again, I can't spoil it. I'm pretty sure from now on it's going to be spoilers. I'm sorry, but it's going to have to be. It's hard to review every episode without talking about what happens and spoiling it. But basically, I thought Brainiac might have been a season-long thing, if not a series thing. But might not be the case, which it's going to be interesting to see where they go from the end of this episode with the hook, because are they going to brush it off? Like, I've seen shows set up hooks and kind of brush it off, and it's disappointed me. A lot of series finales do it. You know, they have a big thing that happens and you can't wait to watch it, and it's all dealt with in 20 minutes and they move on with the series. I hate that. So I hope this episode, put it this way, the pacing of the show it's right in. That's all I can say. You know, we're going all in. We're not sitting back, and at some point the show's going to have an episode or two where it sits back and just takes a break. Like this episode isn't crazy action packed, but like I said, it just moves forward. And so far the first 2 episodes have moved forward a lot. I can't spoil it, but I would definitely recommend people give the show a shot, especially if you like Arrow and Flash, Agent Shield, all them shows. This show is right up there at the moment. It's not as good as Flash season 1 or Arrow season 2, which in my opinion are 2 of the strongest seasons from the CW superhero shows, but it's solid at the moment. There's nothing bad about it. So guys, that's my review for Krypton episode 2, House of L. Unfortunately, some guy next door has started to drill and do loads of stuff while I'm trying to film this and get this up today. So hopefully I can do something with that to get it out, and then you won't know what I'm talking about because you won't hear it in the sound, but just in case. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks.